The transfer portal is one of the more controversial parts of college football. Every year, there are big name recruits that enter that maybe didn't work out at the school they committed to out of high school, and there are players you've never heard of coming out of high school who do well in college and maybe want to play at a higher level. I thought it would be a good idea to go over the top 10 quarterbacks in the transfer portal as of December 1st at 1 p.m. and talk about who they are, where they are transferring from, and where they might transfer to. So I want to start off by saying this top 10 ranking is based off of 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings. Every year, I have a blast going through these rankings and seeing who is on the move, and I recommend checking them out, so I will link them in the description below. Coming in at number 10 is former Syracuse quarterback Tommy DeVito. DeVito is originally from Ramsey, New Jersey, and attended Don Bosco Prep. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who was the 7th best player in New Jersey, 13th best pro-style quarterback, and 327th best player nationally in the class of 2017. He received over 14 different Division I offers from the likes of Boston College, Maryland, Rutgers, Syracuse, and Wake Forest. DeVito had a lot of hype around him and flashed his ability as a freshman before taking over the starting role in 2019 and 2020. During the 2020 season, DeVito played behind a terrible offensive line and finished the year as one of the most sacked quarterbacks. Originally, it looked like DeVito was going to stay, and reports came out saying he wanted to stay, but 2 weeks later, something must have changed as he entered the transfer portal. He finished his Syracuse career throwing for 3,866 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. DeVito is a 3-star transfer prospect with an 82 rating. I couldn't find any projections of where he might go, but if I were to make an educated guess, keep an eye on Northeast schools like Boston College, Rutgers, and Temple, among others. He will bring starting experience to his next school. Coming in at number 9 is former Florida State quarterback Chuba Purdy. Purdy is originally from Gilbert, Arizona, and attended Perry High School and is the brother of Brock Purdy. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who was the 6th best player in Arizona, 7th best dual-threat quarterback, and 192nd best player nationally. He received over 20 different Division I offers from the likes of Arizona State, Florida State, Louisville, Kansas State, and Utah. At one point, he was committed to Louisville, but ultimately chose Florida State. He was having a decent camp his freshman year before needing surgery on his collarbone. During the 2020 season, he appeared in 3 games and made 1 start, throwing for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, while also rushing for 57 yards. During the 2021 season, he appeared in 1 game going 5 for 5 for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns against UMass. When he entered the transfer portal, it came as a surprise to Florida State, including their head coach, Mike Norvell. According to the transfer portal rankings, Purdy is a 3-star recruit with a rating of 85 and has 4 years of eligibility. According to Sports Illustrated, Arizona State could be a landing spot for Purdy over Arizona because the Wildcats have 6 quarterbacks on their roster. According to Longhorns Wire, Texas could also be a possible landing spot. And don't be surprised if Iowa State is in the mix if Matt Campbell stays put. Former Ohio State quarterback Jack Miller comes in at number 8. Miller is another Arizona quarterback out of Scottsdale attending Chaparral High School. Coming out of high school, Miller was a 4-star recruit who was the 9th best player in Arizona, 13th best pro-style quarterback, and 334th best player nationally. He received over 18 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Arizona State, LSU, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. In 2 years at Ohio State, Miller played in 5 games, throwing for 101 yards and rushing for 1 touchdown. This past spring, Miller lost the starting quarterback job to Heisman contender CJ Stroud and lost the backup job to Kyle McCord. He was then suspended a little under a month ago after operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. It wasn't surprising when Miller entered the transfer portal this past weekend. According to 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings, Miller is a 3-star recruit with a rating of 86 and will have a few years of eligibility left. Although I couldn't find an exact prediction, most expect him to transfer to a group of 5 school. The number 7 rated quarterback in the 24/7 Sports transfer portal is former Tennessee quarterback Harrison Bailey. Bailey is originally from Marietta, Georgia, and attended Marietta High School. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who was the 3rd best pro-style quarterback, 15th best player in Georgia, and 99th best player nationally. He received over 22 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee, and while at Tennessee, Bailey threw for 594 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in 7 games. According to the transfer portal rankings, Bailey is a 3-star recruit with a rating of 86 and has a few years of eligibility left. While in high school, Bailey told Dog Nation back in 2017 that his dream school was Florida. Many thought initially Georgia might try to pursue him out of the transfer portal, but now that looks unlikely. Miami tried to flip him coming out of high school and may try to land him again this time around. According to Rivals, other schools to watch are South Carolina, Georgia Tech, LSU, Ole Miss, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Florida State, and maybe Michigan with his connection to Jim Harbaugh. Hey you! Yeah, you! Who do you think is the best player in the transfer portal rankings? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the video do better in the algorithm. The 6th ranked quarterback may be someone you may have never heard of, and that is Zach Gibson. Gibson is from Alpharetta, Georgia, and played at Johns Creek High School. Coming out of high school, Gibson was a 3-star recruit who was the 85th best pro-style quarterback, 206th best player in Georgia, and 2,258th best player in the class of 2019. He received 5 offers from Akron, Chattanooga, East Tennessee State, Georgia State, and Morehead State. In 3 years at Akron, he played in 17 games, throwing for 2,471 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. This past year, he threw for 10 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. According to 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings, Gibson is a 3-star recruit whose rating has gone up to an 87 and will technically be a sophomore next year. I tried to find some transfer predictions for Gibson, but had no luck. If I had to guess, look at Midwest destinations if he wants to stay in that area, or he could return home to schools like Georgia State or Georgia Tech. Jacob Zeno is 24/7 Sports' 5th best transfer portal quarterback out of Baylor. Zeno is originally from San Antonio, Texas, and played at John Jay High School. Coming out of high school, Zeno was a 4-star recruit who was the 8th best pro-style quarterback, 35th best player in Texas, and 270th best player nationally in the class of 2019. He received over 27 different Division I offers from the likes of Baylor, Florida, Georgia, NC State, and Texas Tech. Zeno played in 6 games at Baylor, throwing for a total of 282 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, while also having a rushing touchdown. He fell behind Jerry Bohannon on the depth chart, which could be the cause of his transfer. According to 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings, Zeno is a 3-star recruit with a rating of 87. 24/7 Sports writes he has some Power 5 upside and could see interest from a lot of teams now that he's in the portal. Zeno doesn't have a huge sample size, but he flashed solid ability at times and looked pretty capable in relief of Charlie Brewer in the 2019 Big 12 Championship game. At 6'2", 211 pounds, Zeno has good size and mobility to go along with a solid arm talent. Zeno still needs to work on accuracy from the pocket to be a more productive college player. He will have 3 years of eligibility, and personally, I hope he ends up at UTSA, but according to the Orlando Sentinel, UCF could be a possible landing spot. He has also had a lot of teams reach out to him. Coming in at number 4 is former LSU quarterback Miles Brennan, from the class of 2017. Brennan is from Long Beach, Mississippi, and attended St. Stanislaus High School. Coming out of high school, Brennan was a 4-star recruit who was the 4th best player in Mississippi, 6th best pro-style quarterback, and 152nd best player nationally. He received over 18 different Division I offers from the likes of California, LSU, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, and Wisconsin. In 5 years at LSU, Brennan threw for 1,712 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. During the 2020 season, he played in 3 games, throwing for 1,112 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions before getting injured. Then, during the preseason, Brennan broke his arm this past spring. According to 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings, Brennan is a 3-star recruit with a rating of 88. Brennan could choose to transfer home to either Ole Miss or Mississippi State. The issue is, it looks like the number 2 guy is going to Ole Miss, so you could cross that off the list, and the Bulldogs will have Will Rogers. There's also the possibility of North Carolina, Miami, or Penn State, and I will throw Wisconsin in the mix if they want to shake up their quarterback room. They did recruit him out of high school. And then I couldn't leave out this idea. Saturday Down South threw out the idea of Liberty, writing, "If I know Hugh Freeze, I know he loves him a cast-off quarterback." Whether that's Chad Kelly, Malik Willis, or recently Caden Salter. Freeze has become to quarterbacks needing a second chance what Nick Saban is to coaches needing a second chance. Coming in at number 3 is former Fresno State quarterback Jake Haener. Haener is originally from Danville, California, and attended Monte Vista High School. Coming out of high school, Haener was a 3-star recruit who was the 25th best pro-style quarterback, 62nd best player in California, and 624th best player in the class of 2017. He received over 9 different offers from the likes of Akron, Hawaii, Middle Tennessee, Toledo, and Washington, choosing the Huskies. Haener spent 2 seasons in Seattle before transferring to Fresno State after losing the quarterback battle to Jacob Eason. He had to sit out the 2019 season due to the old transfer portal rules, and threw for 5,831 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions in 2 seasons. This year, he threw for 3,810 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Haener entered the transfer portal just hours after Kalen DeBoer, his former head coach, was named the new Washington head coach. According to 24/7 Sports transfer rankings, Haener is a 4-star recruit who has a 90 rating. Haener is expected to return to Seattle and transfer to Washington to follow his head coach. The number 2 rated quarterback is former UCF quarterback Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel is originally from Mililani, Hawaii, and attended Mililani High School. Coming out of high school, Gabriel was a 3-star recruit who was the 9th best player in Hawaii, 27th best pro-style quarterback, and 758th best player in the class of 2019. Gabriel took over the UCF starting quarterback position in 2019 after Mackenzie Milton's horrific injury in 2018. In 26 games at UCF, Gabriel threw for 8,041 yards, 70 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, while also rushing for 372 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. Gabriel missed most of this past season, breaking his collarbone in Week 3 of the season against Louisville. According to the transfer portal rankings, Gabriel is a 4-star recruit with a 92 rating. He's expected to transfer to Ole Miss and team up with former UCF offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby. And the number 1 rated transfer portal quarterback is former Oklahoma State quarterback Spencer Rattler. Rattler is originally from Phoenix, Arizona, and played at Pinnacle High School. Coming out of high school, he was the best pro-style quarterback, the best player in Arizona, and 11th best player in the class of 2019. He received over 14 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Texas. Going to the 2021 season, Rattler was a Heisman frontrunner and projected to be a first-round quarterback, but lost his starting job to Caleb Williams in Oklahoma's comeback win against Texas in the Red River rivalry. Rattler finished his Oklahoma career playing in 23 games, throwing for 4,595 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. According to 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings, Rattler is a 4-star recruit with a 93 rating. According to 24/7 Sports Chris Hummer, possible landing spots for Rattler are Arizona, Arizona State, LSU, Ole Miss, Oregon, TCU, and Texas A&M. But where do you think these guys will all transfer? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.